In today's video, I tell you. Welcome to the channel, guys. This is Phil with Moto Geekster, working on the 510 some more today. Today's video, I'm going to sit down and kind of explain to you what my goals are with this car and why I'm doing this and other stuff. Let's get to it. Hey guys, testing 1 2 3. How does this fucking look? I don't even know, but I'm gonna tell you a little story. Here's a story of a guy named Philly. Hopefully my neighbor doesn't make too much noise. I know this is a weird angle, but I wanted you to see what's behind me. Let's see, why am I doing this build? Well, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, called Humboldt County, there was a young man named Phil Amer. And even though he loved to dance, he also loved to drive. One day, the inkling of a dream creeped into his brain. What was that dream, you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you what that dream was. That dream was to build and race his own drag car. It took many years before this young man was able to accomplish this. But the opportunity came, and he took it. And now he's labored long and hard. And he's not finished yet. But his dream will be realized. He is determined to build the world's first 1972 Datsun station wagon with an LS53 in it, twin TTs. That's redundant. Twin turbo, 1,000 horsepower. That's what he's planning on doing. As you can see behind me, I've mocked up my beautiful TTs for testing purposes only. You got to make sure they fit first. I don't think they're big enough. I think I need to go bigger. Like they say, bigger is always better. There's been a lot of inspiration along the way. First of all, I'd like to thank YouTube for creating a platform where an ordinary schmo like me could learn how to build just about anything. From the space shuttle to this. Anyway, there were other YouTubers that inspired me along the way. Well, there's many of you, including, but not limited to, Kyle Voss, Cletus McFarlane, The Boosted Boy, 1320 Video. Many more. I will link them all in the description below. Let's get to it. Let me show you what I've done. All right, so here's where we're at with the steering column. Now, I'm going to say something right now, disclaimer. This is just a mock-up. It's for testing purposes only. It will not be the final steering column. So don't freak out. Okay. And we've got, here, let me pull it out. Pull it out so I can show it to you. Hang on a second. Phew. All right. So here it is. This is my makeshift mock-up steering column. Right. So we have the original shaft here with the splines that go into the steering column, coming down to the original U-joint, right? Coming down to our maked up, adapted, right? This is the, this the sketchy stuff. I'm not leaving it like this. Again, I'm not leaving it like this. I will get proper D bar thingies and good U-joints, okay? This is just to make sure it works and see what I need. So, so this, go here to this one. This goes into the steering rack, okay? So let's put it in and we'll see. Shove down in here like this. Finagle in here. I'm gonna put it right there. Get it finagled up in through there. Get it in. Oh, come on there. Spline right there. Okay. Right, there we go. And tighten that down a little bit. Get that like that. Okay. A little adjustability. All right, so there it is, like that. All right, so there's that part of it. It's going through the firewall right there. I'll get a better whole kind of grommet thing for the firewall. Once I get this completely set, I'll either get put a bearing in there or I'll get just a really good grommet. So now we've got this. Oops. No, I know. I got to take this off. Hang on. All right, so now we got the column back on. Steering wheel, time for our first test rip of the steering wheel. So now we got the column here. This is all the stock column up till here. Now I'm gonna put another piece. I have a piece of tube that's gonna go from here to the firewall, and then I have a flange thing I'll put on the firewall so it's really stable so that none of this shakes around at all. Like, see how that moves a little bit? I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it moves a little bit, so I'm gonna secure it to the firewall like it was originally. This is all stock, all the stock mounting stuff, which is important because since I've kept this all stock, now I can put the stock dash back in. The stock dash fits like it's supposed to. The only thing I will not probably be able to put back in is the heater, but who needs a heater? It's a hot rod. So let's see if this thing actually works. All right, so we got it going in there. We got it connected down there. Let's see. Let you guys watch this. And whoop, whoop, there it's turning. It's turning. We hear the tires. That's turning. And that is turning the tires. And I am turning the steering wheel. And the tires are turning. And that is lock pretty much that way. And we go the other way. It's not actually too difficult to turn either. It feels pretty good. I don't think it's bending really. Looks pretty good. Like it's flickering a little bit. And the other way. And that's the other lock the other way. Wow. Sweet. Now it's steering. Yay! And just like that, I have steering. Yay! Now I'm gonna take this. So I have this stainless that fits on the, it'll fit on that funky tubing. Here's a section of it that I cut off. Section of it. I mean, I guess I could re-weld this back onto it, but it's really hard to weld because it's super thin, super old material. So I think I want to put this stainless on here just to give it a little bit more of a little bit more rigidity. And then this is the old flange right here. And this went, I think, this actually went on the inside and it went on the firewall like this. right? So it went on the firewall like that, except for the hole. It was through the hole, right? So it went up through the hole. So I want to see what I can do. I may have to. It's not gonna feel like it did before, but I want to give some connectivity between the steering column and the firewall, right? So it's secure. So it's got a really, it's really stable and it's not gonna move around. And then of course, now that I know that the steering shaft part works, I can get some, I think it's called double D bar or something like that. The joint that goes on the steering rack is new, so I could probably cut the welds from that and keep that. But the other one, the original joint, I want to replace because it's old. It's not as beefy as the other one. I mean, it's pretty good, but anyway. So we'll see how that goes, but it's good to know that that works. Oh, except now, I just thought of something. Now that that's in, now we got to check clearance. Now, I have the stock manifolds, exhaust manifold now turned upside down because when I put the TTs on, they're going to be on the front. So I need TT manifolds. Now, I don't have TT manifolds, but also before I get the TTs and install the TTs, there's the fact that I can't put manifolds that dump out the back on this because there's not enough space. Not enough space, right? I've got like that much space on that side and no space on that side. So I could probably have like make custom headers that would tuck down behind. But again, the TTs, they got to be on the front because that's where it's cool. Give me a second. I'm going to put this other manifold on. Okay, so got the manifold on and no problem with clearance. Right there. See, with these guys, there won't be any problem. So there's the, let's get the light down here. Right, so there's the shaft right there. There's plenty of space. Yes, I am going to need to make a heat. Going to have to make a heat shield here for sure because this is pretty close. I'm going to pull I might pull both brake lines off of one side and just split them. That might work. I've seen that there. But again, these manifolds are just to get it running and driving. And when I put the twin turbo manifolds on, I will find a manifold that fits better or fabricate a manifold that fits better. It's going to be better, right? Even if it's like a log style manifold or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to get to welding this other piece in and start fabricating that up, and I'll show you guys when that one's done. I got this piece. I think it's cool enough. Yeah, I got this piece done. Don't judge the welds too much. It's not a structural piece, so I didn't do any bag purging or anything. It is stainless. It's going to go... Let me grab this. So this piece, so I took the column back off. Here's the column here. This piece is going to go on here, on the end here. I'll weld it to that, and then it's going to be attached to the firewall somehow. Now, I was messing around with this piece. Unfortunately, this piece doesn't really fit like it used to. See, kind of like doesn't really fit. I mean, I guess it could fit that way. Maybe, as long as it's far enough over. But I tried to put it in this way. It doesn't really fit this way. Kind of fits this way. But the thing is, what makes projects like this challenging is you have to kind of think a step ahead sometimes and think about all the things that are around the piece that you're working on and how everything works together. It needs to work together. Now, the other thing that's in this vicinity are the pedals, right? And we got the brake pedal here, and I've kind of got this mocked up, and it works pretty well where it's at, right? I'll put probably a stop there, and I need to weld that better, of course, and or make a new one. I'm happy with where that is. The steering is the same. The other thing is the accelerator pedal, right? So the accelerator pedal is supposed to go right there. Now, you probably noticed in another shot that I had this one here, right? I had this down here like this. I actually drilled a hole to kind of mount it, to mock it up. Now that'll work there. However, I don't really like this style of pedal. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I think what I want to do is I want to put the original pedal back in, which looks like this. So this is the original pedal, and this is just basically a bent piece of metal, and it goes onto the drywall, onto the firewall, goes onto the firewall somewhere around like this, mounts to a little mount on the firewall, and you push it down and it goes, right? And I think I like this style better. I just have to figure out how to make it work, right? So one of the things I really like about doing projects like this is because of the complexity and the puzzle. You know, it's like a little puzzle. You got to figure it out. And you have to think, okay, if I'm driving this, you know, and I got my foot on the gas pedal and I'm pushing the gas pedal and I have to push the brake pedal, like how does it feel? Like how easy is it to do that? How does it feel? Make sure the pedals aren't going to bind up. They're going to always work all the time, especially, you know, throttle and brake and steering. Those are like really important things because you don't want any one of those to fail, ideally, right? I mean, yeah, it happens sometimes. And, you know, a lot of, you can kind of appreciate all the engineering that goes into new cars and modern cars, and people build cars, you know, factories or, you know, companies that build cars, because they've got, you know, engineers to think about all this stuff. Whereas I don't, I just have me, but I can look at examples and I can see what works well. And, you know, the original gas pedal works, and it works better than the one I'm going to use, the other one. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do it. So anyway, I'll bring you guys back when I figure all that stuff out in another video, because with the beginning of this video and all the talking that I did, this make for a little bit long video. So anyway, if you've lasted this long through this video, you got to subscribe. I mean, come on, subscribe, like, throw down a comment, because that helps the algorithm, helps me grow the channel. This isn't the only project I want to do. I want to do other projects. Like I said in the beginning, I am going to have merch at some point, and I'll announce that on a different video. It's going to be probably t-shirts, hopefully sweatshirts and hats eventually. Like most YouTubers, this is how we fund our projects. So if you're interested, if you like the content, if you have any suggestions on how I can make the content better, how I can make my car better, please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know what your opinion is. I love hearing other people's opinions. That's how I learn, because I don't know everything. You know, I'm figuring it out. Have a great day. Don't forget, you can do it. Do anything. You just got to start.